Hello and welcome to this week's episodes of The Calling. Follow your spirit all the way in. I'm your host, Homaya. Join me in this journey of self-awareness, soul frequencies, and spiritual revelations. Let's fly. Blessings, beauties. Such a unique experience we have today. I am with a very dear lightworker, friend, colleague, and also my mentee, Mikasa, a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful being. And we're here together to share our common light and our common co-creation, the way that it impacted Mikasa with an inspiration and an activation that it will impact so many of you. So Mikasa, welcome, 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 dear beloved one. Thank you for your presence.
Thank you for your introduction. I'm Mikasa, and from Japan. I'm also teaching light. And it's so honor to come here to join the magical space for co-creation. I'm so excited.
Yeah. And I feel that when you are speaking about magic, we need to say that is something that in our history, this human history, is in common because both you and I were learning under the same beautiful, amazing, powerful master, Star. And
Yes.
this is actually the place where we got to know each other. And for a certain period of time, each of us moved in her own way and in her own teaching, her own evolution. And at a certain point, you've reached out. Somehow I remember like probably a Facebook Messenger message from you. What happened? What have you seen? And what made you reach out?
Yes, that happened. I remember it 1.5 years ago. Of course, before, 10 years ago, I already met you and in person in the same space under our master's space. But yeah, I was looking for my style. I learned a lot. I trained a lot. And I master some level of magics and also healing. And I love that and appreciate that. And also, I'm looking for the next step, next level, and somebody who leads me, and showed me the way. So you were like the shooting star. I knew you, of course, but you were like shining very uniquely. And my curiosity was called to your light. It's like shooting star called another shooting star. So I jumped in, but no hesitation because you answer the questions to the people at the time for free in your master class. And I also amazed and no surprise, but amazed that your way to answer to the people from different aspects, different layers, and so unique that you have the special angle to shining and pointing the core of the person's hidden issue. So I'm very happy and so glad to join. At that time, I joined Nectar the first. It already changed me only in 1 month. And I started my next level career development and also the next level of capacity to holding space for many number of the new students.
Yeah. Like those who are listening, if you do not know Mikasa, you would be amazed what happened through our co-creation. We're not going to already tell you that. That is so worth your listening. But I feel that there's something so important here. That you and I, master to master, we can relax into that truth. However, I am aware that so many people are so preoccupied because when, for example, you've decided to enter at that time Pure Nectar as it was a month-long course, right? But you already knew almost everything that I was teaching there in terms of techniques. I would say probably 80% of all that I was teaching there, you already knew it. And so many times, right, students in the beginning, and you are in the beginning of your evolution, you have this belief that you do a class one time, you're not going to repeat it. And if you already have done it, even if you've done it with another master or with the same master, there's no need to repeat it again. Versus you already evolved, already clear, already in your mastery, said, I go and I repeat that. Or I wouldn't say repeat, I'll do it.
Yeah, the mastery is all about depth of layers and depth of dimensions. And that always also related to how great the magician is, how many layers the magician can deal with, the healer also. So it's different level for me to different depth, different level of depth. And always there's something to learn, especially the masters who can teach differently, like in thousands or the millions way to teach to the different type of audience or the students. That is the value to learn with the masters.
Yeah, that is amazing. And I feel that it is so valuable. And I also feel that it gives a whole different perspective about what is humbleness. Because some people believe or have this attitude that humbleness is something that makes you small instead of humbleness as a place of, I'm open, I'm curious. It's almost like, who cares what I know and what I don't know? What I have is a vibrating field that I feel connected to, and I go with it. Let's see what will open up.
I realize myself, I'm really good at being an empty vessel to receive all of the things the master gives, or that something comes through and flowing through the masters. I'm a master apprentice, so I know how to do and how to be. The humbleness is, for me, is being empty and being the vessel, pure vessel, to receive something beautiful and something so precious that is coming from the universe through the masters. So the experience, learning and receiving this beautiful light from masters also, I can say it's bliss, not just only information or the wisdom, that is bliss, spiritual bliss. So I know that, yes, I know that taste, and I know that amazing light that activates me. And yes, that is my definition.
Yeah, yeah. And it's also an embodiment. Then from there, you've reached out and enter the vortex.
Yes, that is a space of miracles. And everything is happening so quickly, deeply. And the transformation is like endless transformation. Every month, somebody has breakthrough, many breakthroughs, and we celebrate together. And yeah, in 1 year, I feel like 10 years or 100 years because I'm now seeing what I've done in this year is I amazed and I'm surprised at myself.
So when you entered the vortex, you entered in a specific state. Do you feel comfortable sharing what was your state?
Yes, that is also the time to have some support, big support, and it's a time to have bigger space for my healing. Yes, please.
Yeah, so I remember that you entered and you were physically dealing with a physical condition. I remember you most of the time exhausted and sad.
Yeah.
And I would even say, as you said, you were in full capacity. Your consciousness was full.
Mhm.
And many times, especially in the first 2 months, it felt while I was giving mentorship and guidance, and it felt like you're saying, no, this is what it is. This is how I am. This is how we do it. And yet I remember keep on offering another perspective and massaging you into a whole different consciousness, which
Yes.
you followed.
Yes. Now I can see I was so attaching to my old misconception and also my identity. And maybe I felt a big pressure from different places. And yeah, I was looking for how to revelate and how to not solving, revelate myself. But yeah, the first 3 months struggling, honestly, I can say struggling and also denying, denial, rejection to my truth and to my older part. And also I continually kept doing and working on myself. I've done everything that you offer also.
Yeah.
And the outcome in the 3D reality is already started like manifesting quickly. And I went the flow in the wave with that reality. So some part of time, some period of time, maybe I have 2 3 like aspects and I'm going forth back or somewhere. Maybe I had a lot of trial, especially in dream playing.
Mm.
But the 3D experience is already changed and start changing. It's so rapid, and I decided to go with it. So that is like starting the new adventure. And I was so excited about that too.
Yeah. So I feel that it is really important to highlight first how transformation is not linear. And
No.
while there was a part of you that was still in resistance and still in attachment, there was another part where the intuition started to lead. And the truth already pointed the way. So while there was one part in resistance, there was another part surrendering. And you were moving between those two until I remember a moment. I literally remember how I saw you entering the group, the live group, and I looked at you and I said, it's not the same person. She changed. Physically, I felt you different. The way that you held your body, the way that you showed up. And do you remember that moment where miracles upon miracles started to happen? Do you remember?
Yeah, I honestly don't remember the first moment because the moment is coming and coming again. Yeah, could you share the moment? I don't remember.
I just remember that moment. There was a moment, few months, maybe we were already 4 months into the vortex, where I already started feeling that you put the stubbornness aside and you opened up to there's probably another way to do things. I'm available to see another way. I'm available to walk with it. And I felt like you were saying that there's something in the teachings, there's something in the transmission that started to feel that it is worth trying, I would even say. One of the things that I remember that at that time, the way that you were connecting with the students who were interested to work with you were 10 students at the time. Speaking with 10 students at the time, and I told you, Mikasa, this is labor. It's labor. There's no magic like that. You are out of your frequency. And I feel that this is really important to highlight that you were, for me, you were out of your frequency. Or we can say that you were running a certain frequency and a certain attitude and a certain approach within the class, but then toward the class or in your own life, you didn't allow that to be.
I remember. Now I remember that. Yes, I was working because it's standard in Japan and it's like risk hedge type of way to work. So I more take my time to talk and not negotiate, but try to convince, I can say, to tell the value to the people, like 10 people or 20 people group. But Homaya recommended me to follow and match my frequency. And she let me see as she is seeing.
I feel that this is an important piece.
I got in perspective. I never seen myself like that, but I trust it and tried it, and the outcome is ridiculous because I started teaching the class for hundreds and even more than 1,000 people at one time. And even the paid class, 700 students joined for 3 days class. And almost like 95% of the people attended in live. And it was so active. And I also activated and encouraged and full of light. That was life-changing experience for me and maybe for almost all students at the time. So, but it's so big difference, like 10 times, 100 times different. But I noticed that I could hold that level of energy and space.
Of course. And I feel that this is so important because people believe the story that they tell themselves, which is many times a story of adjustment with what is accepted, with what our parents or society or our friends or our colleagues or what we believe. But then there is something when you work with a mentor that this is not the only thing that you project. You're not just projecting your belief system, you project everything. And the work of the mentor is to see what you're actually saying. Not to see what you're saying, the words that you're expressing and the situation that you're telling about, but actually to see what are you saying behind without words. Because I saw in you something that you showed me, but you were not willing to see it yourself. And my work with you was to tell you, see what I see what you project. At that time, you didn't believe in your power. You didn't believe that you will be able to have so many students. You didn't believe that you were able to hold, because it's not just speaking to an audience. This is an energetic work. It really needs an energetic potency. And of course, you also doubted yourself at a certain level because of your physical condition. Mm-hmm. But the beauty is that I allowed you, I supported you to allow yourself to see what you already see, what you already know. And then there were also, I remember some practical conversations about, okay, if there needs to be an assistant to hold the space, let's contemplate about who is the assistant, who's going to be there, and how you will feel supported, and how you will feel supported before and after, and how you can take care of yourself.
Yes.
But that is freedom.
Yes. It's practically, but energetic practicality. Because I followed my business mentor's way, because he was a professional and also he's my promoter. But Homaya is the mentor, but the spiritual mentor. She knows how spirit is powerful. And maybe I didn't like 100% focus on my spirit or follow my spirit or let my spirit free to
Yes.
do and express my own spirit. So that is a big change. Yes.
Yeah.
And yes, that is.
Because we all know that only when the consciousness is shifting, something will shift in reality.
Yes, exactly. My consciousness was not only expanded, it's also, how to say, it's become very flexible to make any shape constantly and also momentally. I'm like very flexible, free, light language shape. I can become anything, and it's very shamanic too, and also very futuristic. So I love the way the Homaya teaches. It's very ancient, it's very essential, and also very something so universal and galactic and futuristic. I love that. I really addicted to learn that. I want to know about this. And always I learn something new. I found and discover, I can say it's discover something new, and it makes me so excited. Thank you. And I become more free to become anything. And what's happening on is that is my evolution and my evolutional code.
Yes, this is strong. And I feel that maybe it's good to share. Do you feel comfortable to share, or should I share the financial outcome that came with that place of owning your power, your intuition, and your freedom?
Yes, sure. And also that is one of the big change for me to talk about financial stuff for spiritual people, because I'm become a bit hesitated to talk about this in some reasons, but never more. Yes, welcome.
The first milestone that I felt that you came one day and you said, well, you know, Maya, I don't know exactly the numbers, but you told me, oh, I had a 200K month. And I was like, oh, wow, that is like a 10x from how you started when we started working together. I remember we started, you were around 20K a month, and then you had a 200K month. And then the next stage where you had, oh, you said, oh, in a week or 2 weeks, I've done around something 350K month. And I was like, oh my God, this is so good. And I feel that was, if I recall, more or less 6 months into the vortex. And then came probably 10 months into the vortex, 1 million in 3 days.
Yes. And it comes so easily. That is big thing. I never work harder. More I rest, more income flows to me. So yes, in 3 days, actually, I created. I can say I created. And my co-worker and the staff and the promoter was so surprised at my income because it's so outstanding. Nobody like done that kind of outcome. So yes, well, for me, it's very naturally happened. It's my flow. Maybe it's my free creation. So it's easier. I a bit hesitate to say that because it triggers many people
You know,
who is
like,
working hard to try to get something. But for me, truth is more in relaxation and more in flow and more tuned in myself. Creation is much easier and much fun. So that is my discovery.
yes. It's a place of alignment. It's a place of resting into your power. It's not just resting. Sometimes we say to people, rest, and they feel, oh, I just need to lay down and do nothing. No, it is resting into your power, resting into your knowing of who you are, resting into your unique way of teaching, of leading, of speaking. One of the things that were meaningful in our work together is that I had to show you, support you seeing that your unique power is to trailblaze. You are opening doors for many people. But because it is such a natural gift, it's almost like you didn't pay attention to that because you just do it naturally with who you are and what you are. But when you own that power and you rest into that power, then of course people can come because they know what is there. They know with whom they're going to have relationship.
I think that was the biggest breakthrough for me because I believed something if I was too powerful and to show my power, the people run away. People just like me, or the people cannot follow me. But in 3D reality, it's completely different. It's opposite. People awaken and the people got activated because people can see some example, some miracles, they experience miracles, so they can believe and they can trust. So that is a big thing.
Beautiful, powerful, amazing. Okay.
Yes, we are having the big conference with powerful three ladies council, the council.
Yeah. So indeed, that also happened, right? We came into completion of your time in the vortex. There was a moment that you asked me, what am I doing with all the money that I have now?
Yes, that is the challenge for me. I want to use wisely.
Yeah.
And I knew the self-investment is the wisest choice. So I was looking for the next level investment for myself. And you offer a very special opportunity, limited opportunity. I joined. I took it.
Yeah, there was, I believe at that time, the council was already presented. One person came already in to the council, which is such a unique and unusual space because it really likes spiritual diamonds.
Yeah, it's different. I never experienced such a solid and crystal clear, diamond clear space and very powerful.
Yeah. Every time it's like, what can you say about it? Feel it. Feel, what can we say about the council? It's not a place of words. It's a place of knowing and really being in this knowing. But then, indeed, afterwards, I opened one spot, one person for apprenticeship for a whole year. It was only one slide. Maybe I posted it twice. You were already in the council and we had a conversation of upgrading from the council or taking the apprenticeship. And I feel that this is a moment where again, one can go so easily lost in their mind. Because on a superficial level, it's this is words, here is a frequency, here is a frequency. If you don't really pay attention, here you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.5 hour like that, and here you get 1 hour like that. Here you get the courses, here you get the courses. And I was with you at that moment, inviting you to feel the difference. Although this is 1 hour and this is 1 hour, that 1 hour is doing one thing. It is present in one thing, and that 1 hour is different. And I felt when we had this conversation that we're opening a global, the ripple effect of it will be global, even if we don't realize it mentally. Because it comes in the honor of what we really do. A very subtle, but very definitive. Yeah. So you're now with me in the council and in private apprenticeship.
Yes, because I need both and I love both. And I deeply resonate with this vision, like a community service, and a community can change the world. I deeply resonate with that. And what is one of the biggest reason I working as a light leader and energy worker is for community, the shaman also. So yeah, the council is kind of highest status of being in service to the huge space for community. And it can touch all the people on this planet, and not only this planet. It's very special, very high frequency space. And everything that we talk and we receive and we cultivate in council is planting seed for future and the next generation, and like game changer to the world. It's big things that it's beyond our mind. But I appreciate the Homaya's creation, space creation, for this level of mastery, masterful space. And also personally, I need a lot of support because my human Mikasa is also developing and changing and transforming a lot radically. I need more personal, intimate support from master level mentor. And when I saw your post about apprenticeship, I had a strange but beautiful experience. And I knew that space is for me. So it's very intuitive decision. I didn't have any logical, or even I never hesitate to take the opportunity. I just appreciate and give myself the chance, the opportunity to grow up, to be supported. So that is also the big thing I never received from my life, but I chose it. I have zero regret. And the both differently supporting me. And also I found myself the way to support community. So it's makes good circulation of my energy, and it makes my energy energetic, alive, vivid, and more. So it's like the two wheels of the vehicle, and it brings me farther on my spiritual path.
Yeah. It is underestimated how important it is to be successful and supported simultaneously. there is such a storytelling that when you achieve a certain level of mastery, when you achieve a certain level of communion with the divine, when you are able to masterfully play with energies, when you are already in a very beautiful emotional maturity. So people are saying, wow, you have it all. You have the confidence, of course, you have the money, you are in emotional maturity, you are connected to the divine, you've learned so much. Why to be supported?
So important. So important. And because it's the same amount of energy that I give, I can receive. So more I receive, I can give. That is a universal law. And also, the more I give myself, I can see the people and I can give the people more. So that is each person has uncountable value, and like no measurable value. I just admire myself, this value, and give the love and everything that I need. So and also the number or the money, the price is just the price, just a number. So the more important thing is I ask and also receive anything that I need. So it's very simple, but it's not easy.
Not easy.
Not easy to give myself fully and receive fully. It's a big lesson for me.
I would continue in this conversation, but we're coming to completion. I feel that there are more layers to bring, also to know that your health shifted, your relationship with your family shifted, your housing situation shifted, everything shifted. Not only, it's easy to, right, to point the money achievement because it's very tangible, but there is an ease and peace and flow and freedom and beauty
Trust.
and
Trust.
trust.
It's never had this level of trust on me and on life and on anything. I was opened and opening for the better and greater.
Thank you, Mikasa,
Thank you,
for
Homaya.
walking this path together, for this life experience, for what we're here sharing with the world, demonstrating to the world, and allowing people to open up, to really take care of themselves. I feel like it's so important to go full circle again to the first question when I asked you why you chose to come. And you said, because I wanted to find my own magic, my own singularity, my own way. And how important it is also to recognize that this, when you get to that place, when you experience that, and it is not complex because it's there, then definitely all the doors of the heavens are opening up and just giving.
Thank you, Homaya, for leading me to such a beautiful journey and journey together. I'm blessed and feeling blessed, and to our co-creation. Thank you so much.
Such a bliss.
Yes.
Thank you for those who were listening. I'm looking forward to continue the conversation with you. Also, you would see in the show notes links to Mikasa if you want to connect with her in her brilliant work. Thank you for listening and being part of this great conversation. You will find all the relevant links in the show notes, as well as a link to a meditation for you to feel more connected to your spirit and aligned with your soul contract. Please, if this episode touched you, leave a review, like, and subscribe. Feel comfortable to share it with your friends, family, and colleagues, because everyone has a calling.